Throw Gang, we are joined by the Rollneck Raja, Lawrence Schlossman, and myself, the Armani Armada, James Harris. Welcome to the weekly Running of the Boys with today's full episode only available on
Patreon.com/throwingfits.
Yo, move up a little bit. I feel like you're like off out of frame a little bit. You're
bad.
edging, bro. You're gooning.
Ooh, dude.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of weird little freaks.
before we get into weird little guys, setting yourself on fire, maybe on purpose, and the most eligible bachelors in NYC.
Ooh.
Let's get to a fit check.
Why don't you start us off, Jimbo?
All right, upstairs I was wearing our legacy Camion Mules, little pony hair guys, little weird little pony hair guys, Stussy socks, maiden name trousers.
Yeah.
Oh man, I definitely got
Are these the new ones that you just bought?
No. I definitely, but I'm saying, smelling the mic, I definitely got the guest we recorded with on Black Friday. I definitely got his or her microphone.
You're gonna get a contact high, dude.
I did while recording for sure.
Is it really that stinky? Do you want me to get you another cover?
It's fine. I'll power through. You know when you like forget a John in your closet or gets buried and you unearth it, and like I feel like I owe it to the non-sentient product to like give it more time than it, because it deserves it, because I accidentally like hid it away from myself.
I love that. Not only do you want to fuck Johns, but you care about their emotional fucking stability as well.
This is what happens when you're this is what makes me one of New York City's most eligible bachelors.
These are without
maiden name.
Right. The studio trouser, right?
No,
studio pants?
No. The Emily trouser. You're thinking of my MF Pen trow.
What did you say these are?
Maiden name.
Oh, maiden name. Excuse me. My apologies.
Shout out David. Happy birthday. Shout out David and Alex.
Shout out David. Happy birthday. A little neurodivergency. I was hearing MF Pen.
No, maiden name.
Maiden name.
Nice, dude. Yeah, big and flowy. Nothing complicated. Just a great fucking pair of pants. Our Legace Workshop tee. Our Legace Workshop Emporio Armani. Little pullover situation. Kind of like a half tunic length with the contrast cuffs.
Mm-hmm.
This, I've been wearing it nonstop since it arrived.
Shit don't ever stop.
Whether just chilling on the couch, whether fucking watching Napoleon with the fellas, or potting with my work husband.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be...
How warm is it? It looks very warm.
It's not that bad. And it's got the fucking extendo on the zippy,
I like
so
that.
it's like, I can
show off the yin yang.
Unlike the short sleeve ones where there's no zips, you just show off the chest meat.
Yeah, that's fully slut boy summer gear.
Absolutely.
Did you get one of those too?
I did, yeah.
Okay, nice. I'll be looking forward to seeing how you do that. Are you going to button it or are you going to let it rock?
Let it rock.
Hell yeah. Taco meat out.
I just want to let it rock.
Dr. Taco with the meat out.
I just want to meat.
What else are you wearing?
Helly Hansen hat from Japan. Bottega Veneta ring. IG brand ring. Hanes boxers. Oh, and I was wearing a big ol' Studio Nicholson coat upstairs.
Shout out the homies at Studio Nicholson. Thank you for the big ol' coats.
Yeah, shout out Felix.
Is yours drop shoulder too?
Honestly, I'm not concerned with the details. I'm more of a macro guy.
Because you know me, I love my raglan sleeve, but
I'm not a raglan sleeve guy.
But if it can't be a full raglan, because fuck a half raglan, no half stepping on this side. I do love then a drop shoulder.
Movies and raglan sleeves are your entire personality. I really don't give a fuck. I just love the way it looks and the rich, fuzzy Melton wool. Is that how you say Melton? Melton?
Melton wool?
Melton wool. Love it.
I love when the wool melts on my body.
I know. Been seeing some Studio Nicholson chatter in the Discord. I think it's one of those brands where like our guys, if you're looking to splash out a little bit, it's definitely worth your attention. And needless to say, not needless to say, but as much as their pants and their outerwear is getting some love in the Discord, I also copped some shoes from them. I bought them on sale. Do
you want to get into...
And I got fucking... Well, should we save it?
Yeah, save it for getting cooked.
Right.
For getting roasted on Thanksgiving like a goddamn turkey.
All right, but
they played us because they hate us.
Nice. Big old Studio Nicholson
Can I say
overcoat and that sipping on Greenpoint's Finest and Diet Pepsi.
I just want to shout out Andrew Chen, who I believe is the first person on this podcast, whether it was a boys only or a free app, that ever mentioned Studio Nicholson. But yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. I'm super psyched to bust out the fucking big old overcoat.
Put their flagship, their Japan flagship store on my heat map for Tokyo when I head there in a month.
Ooh, heat map, dude. Bro, literal heat map.
Yeah.
Wait, where can people get that from you if they're also going, or is that a shareable, John?
I'm not sure. I mean, every time someone asks me for Tokyo Rex, I'm like, bro, go to our Patreon or go to our Discord if you're a patron. There's a spreadsheet of mad saved shit. This was like City Guides was the thing I floated as like, yo, we should offer this as a service on Patreon. But it is like, if you post it, how do you surface that? And then it does just become I want to do it more for myself than anything else, because I get hit up a lot of times like, yo, what are some stores in Tokyo? And instead of like writing everything out, it's like, here's just a link.
I have a saved list of my most common request when people treat me like I work for them, like I'm their goddamn concierge, is they want vintage shops in New York. So I just have a good list. So that's what that's the most common request. Obviously, other people want other shit as well, but that's the one that I've saved to avoid any of that.
What are you wearing? Oh, and the shades were vintage Versace.
I wore hip para boots to the crib. I have on Palace CK1 socks. I am wearing Our Legacy third cut digi print denim, the new blue pair I picked up. I'm actually wearing another fucking walking billboard for OL, the best brand in the fucking world.
This is James Creep.
I have
really rubbing off on you, literally.
Yeah. For real, dude. Yeah, I got this weird little freak rubbing off on me, dude. Like you said, roll neck, courtesy of OL Emporio Armani, feeling like Sterling Archer in the tactical turtle. Yeah. The tactile neck. I wore the
roll neck is a good move for hiding. I'm not saying your fat neck. I'm saying one's fat neck. It's a good fat camo. It's good famo.
Like a beard. Makeup for men. No, I'm a true believer now. I definitely haven't been rocking turtles in a long time, but courtesy of J. Crew and the roll neck they sent me, now I've been roll neck pilled.
Yeah, now you look like an uncut dick.
Should I go? Speaking of uncut dicks, you want to see the uncircumcised version of this?
This is what, half cut? Well, yeah, full. That's just absurd. You should not do that.
Is this like Jenna was like, this is how it's styled in like some cool looking, Scandinavian model wears it.
Yeah, but you're wearing a Throwing Fits hat, so I don't know if it's really working for you there.
Well, my jacket was a blouson, also from OL X Emporio Armani. I am wearing a Throwing Fits Town Dust hat, as you just made fun of, even though it is our own merch. So what the fuck's
I'm just
your
saying,
problem?
it's context. It's context.
Rolly on the wrist, wedding ring on the fingy, wifey on the pinky, Supreme Hanes on the cock and balls, and I have a hydro flask full of Green Point's finest on Eckington for hydration, which is key to good skincare, which we learn on this week's pod, or not learn, everyone knows this, but which gets brought up on this week's pod with a very special guest, which we'll mention behind the paywall.
Let's get behind the paywall, chef. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, Lawrence.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, and happy Thanksgiving to the Throw Gang.
What are you thankful for this year?
I'm thankful for working for ourselves. I'm thankful for an amazing business partner. I'm thankful for an amazing wife, a new healthy dog. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the Throw Gang at home that lets us fucking do what we gotta do for the culture. And I'm thankful for all of the fucking flow. The deluge of flow. It's the last one. Those aren't like necessarily ranked, but like there's a lot to get. Oh, I'm thankful for my health. Losing weight. Okay. I'm thankful that the pounds have been dropped.
At an unhealthy pace, man.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Jim? What are you thankful for?
All that and more. Happy Thanksgiving. The question really is, as a holiday, as a true experience, forget and we include the hoopla and the hype and the lead up and the fallout from it. Is Thanksgiving underrated or overrated as a holiday?
I think we both agree that it's super overrated.
I think this year for me really cemented that it is overrated, especially in comparison to the best holiday, Christmas, which is
I guess
July 4th is up there. You want to shut that, by the way? That's fucking
is it
loud as hell.
Is it distracting you? Yeah,
I don't know if it's picking up, but it's just fucking loud.
No, it's not picking up, but it's pretty fucking annoying.
I think that just personally speaking, though, like as a city kid, like I have a less common Thanksgiving experience than like people
it's abnormal for sure.
Well, it's like I hop on the train, I take it one stop, I eat dinner with my parents, I come home. Versus like the maybe like more common experience of like people leaving and having like a long weekend at home.
Sure.
You haven't seen your parents in a while, you haven't seen your family in a while. It is like a convergence family reunion type thing, reunion with homies that you haven't seen that are from the hometown. And it's like an extended, just like gluttonous, festive gluttony, which is great and fine. But so for me though, it's like just like, all right, it's like, hang with my folks, which is pretty common, I do kind of frequently, and then just Thanksgiving food, which we'll get into the food, but I think that the food is just criminally overrated.
First, just a details question, logistically. Your brother and his wife went?
They were on a vacation themselves, so they weren't. Normally, you'd just be like, so
you third-wheeled your parents for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was just the three of us.
So all that aside, because I was just, again, wanted some details. that meal that you have with your folks on Thanksgiving, macro level for the macro guy, does it even register as Thanksgiving?
Yeah, because it's like, my mom is a really good cook. I take after her. The genes got passed down.
Nice.
And she takes it kind of serious. Where every year she's like, what if we just like went to a restaurant, ordered in, and then she's like, nah, you know what? Fuck that. We ball. And she'll do like all the traditional ass shit. And I think as a Japanese woman, because it is like a very American thing still, to her it's just like, oh, like this is fun to like go full Americana.
Oh, she's like cosplaying a little bit.
Or you saying my mom's cosplaying as American? That's kind of fucked up.
No, in terms of like
I think she just gets into it.
Thanksgiving tourism as a white, like
she gets Thanksgiving pilled.
Yeah.
She gets turkey pilled.
Yeah, I feel like I empathize because like I would rather have whatever traditional fire Japanese shit versus whatever your mom is, making, and you're like, all right, sure, if you want to do it, go crazy.
I have one friend where one year him and his parents were like, yo, you know what? Turkey is kind of ass. Turkey's mid. Which
we'll get into that. I feel bad for the turkey's jive, and otherwise, it feels like everybody hates turkey.
But they went and just deep fried chicken, and I was like, damn, like,
awesome.
Deep frying chicken with moms sounds, one, like just a more delicious outcome. Two, like equally, if not far superior to just fucking turkey. And like, yeah, you only do turkey once a year for a fucking reason. It stinks.
Yeah, I like it as a cold cut for sure. I think on a sandwich, we love turkey. In terms of the best way to consume a full fucking bird on Thanksgiving, I'm going to go with the deep fried turkey.
Which is what you normally do.
Well, here's the thing with my family, because like, I posted plate because it's, as I would want to do. It's
you are a basic white bitch.
100%. And normally
and you got, no pun intended, roasted.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, we'll get into the criticisms and then like the ultimate cosign that I did get on my slopped up, not chopped up plate. Okay. Normally my family gets it's all pre-prepared stuff. My brother has decided to, and I get this for his own sanity, he's like, I'm not preparing anything anymore.
Okay.
So it used to be a deep fried turkey. This year those are sold out, so my parents got a normal pre-prepared turkey. It was the worst turkey I think I've ever had in my life, where it got reheated, which is what you're supposed to do. Like it comes all carved up and everything ready to serve. Kind of like, honestly, I have a picture that makes it look so disgusting. Because like you lift open the skin and it's like already sliced up. It literally looks like an alien, dude. It's crazy. Anyway, when you reheated it for whatever, or when my parents reheated it for whatever reason, the skin never crisped. Ugh. So for me, going for all the dark meat, like a wing or a leg, like you can't even eat the skin. So I'm like, what is then the point of this fucking feast?
Reheating skin is tough.
I'm like, yo, hit the broiler on this. Like, I think it's just stressful.
You almost have to remove the skin, fry it up in a pan, and put it back on.
Truly, dude, you have to fucking,
Your plate looked like it was upset that Derek Chauvin got stabbed in jail. It looked like it was, a Republican in name only type plate. Like, I don't know. It was very brave of you to post plate, because like all you're gonna do is invite fucking criticism.
Garbage emojis.
The other thing is that very rarely does Thanksgiving food look good, because it's so beige, it's so brown. Yep. And I'm talking white people Thanksgiving, right? For the most part. Even fucking, for the melatonin rich, I think that Thanksgiving food is just like...
You said melatonin.
What did I mean? Melanin.
Which
for the sleepyheads.
Which is now the second time this has happened, and people were like, yo, these guys are out of pocket right now.
For the sleepyheads.
Which is the tryptophan.
But bro, it's like... Most Thanksgiving food is just like tubers and roots and just mashed up, and it's all just beige and brown. And like, what gets my mom excited, she's like, "Oh, it's so traditional American." On St. Patrick's Day, she'll do like boiled cabbage and fucking corned beef. Yeah, and it also just looks like fucking shit. And it's like, yo, she just will roast vegetables and mash them up. Right? I came with a few dishes where
you went Allison Roman style.
I got Roman pilled.
Your Roman Empire.
Yeah, and
sides.
It is the Super Bowl of getting reposted by Allison Roman. And
oh, everyone is like, shout out to the queen. Yeah. And just trying
to get
me,
senpai.
The hungriest people looking for a repost.
Yeah, look at the dill I shredded. But even then, and no, these aren't shots.
What sides did he
These aren't shots at Allison. It's like Thanksgiving food is just like vegetable, heat, salt. That's it. Like that's kind of fucking it.
Yeah. My plate.
I made a potato au gratin, crushed potato.
That's a nice one.
With mad scallions and black pepper and some herbs.
Crispy.
and then a spicy green beans with mad garlic and lemon.
That sounds
which
really
I made
good.
the day before so that they could just sop up all the flavors overnight.
Fucking edible heartburn, dude. I love it.
It's pretty good.
So my plate was getting cooked in the cord and a little bit on IG, which I understand. The turkey.
It looked real seasonless.
It was garbage. So, and everyone admitted that this was like not the move. And again, like I'm not here to criticize my parents who are here feeding. I think we had like 10 or somewhere between 10 and 12 people, but like so they're feeding a lot.
How many
of
beers you had?
What?
People.
Yeah, people. I'll get into the beers. I'll get into the beer.
Your plate was just like it was 50 Shades of Brown.
So
50 Shades of Brown by Micah Cohen.
The only homemade stuff on that plate was Jenna made her signature spoon bread, the corn casserole, the
what?
Casserole. What is it called? Casserole.
This is weary, wary, wowie.
Melted, which I was like more correct than you, by the way.
No.
I was justified.
I'm not correcting you on the pronunciation of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on the definition of that. I'm correcting you. I think it's funny the way you pronounce it.
Thanksgiving can make anyone weary because it is exhausting. And then a very beige plate would make any ethnic person a bit wary of what they're about to eat.
The way you say it, wary versus just wary.
Yeah. Wary.
Like I wary.
Larry. Wary. So of the things that were home cooked, we have Jenna's corn slop, which always fucking hits. And everyone thought, and then once this was brought to my attention, I kind of see it. Everyone was like, yo, why are you eating scrambled eggs, bro? Okay. So shout out JB. And then my aunt makes a fucking fire sweet potato casserole. Casserole.
No, casserole.
Everything else. Everything else on that plate, whether it was fucking stuffing or mashed potatoes and gravy or Brussels sprouts, it's all just like pre-prepared. That's coming from like, some local
Wegmans,
local farm by my parents' house, and it wasn't terrible.
The turkey looked fucking ass,
but
I
understand
that it's not anyone's fault, and it's also just like, again, Thanksgiving food cannot look good in photos.
So it's funny you say that because I actually like that kind of color wheel of beige blandness.
Well, yeah,
to me is like aesthetically pleasing
because you are a beige blandsman.
Yeah, so everyone was like, "Yo, this plate looks dry as fuck," and I'm like, "Nah, this is like super sloppy, gravy's on everything, so not valid." There was the eggs comment a couple times, and then yeah, the turkey, everyone nailed it. It sucked. It was trash. They're like, "Yo, Larry got himself a wing," and I'm like, "Yeah," I had like 2 bites and was like, "Yo, I don't want the calories."
My parents accidentally bought a 8-pound turkey breast. So there actually was no dark meat to be had.
Brutal, dude.
They got like in the throes of like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. They just picked up what they thought was a 8-pound turkey. It was an 8-pound. It was a gigantic breast. Yeah. And then it got overdone. There was a whole it's chaos in the kitchen.
The turkey was wearing a Montclair. We've all seen the meme.
Yeah,
that's the one breast I don't want.
It didn't get burned.
I don't want chicken breast either.
I don't mind chicken breast.
Chicken definitely superior to turkey. Oh, but I will say, right, all the fucking roasting, no pun intended aside, I got the ultimate compliment is Maddie Matheson hit me up and literally said, "This is a perfect place." And I think he meant plate, but but shout out Maddie, because that to me is like I'll take love from the big dog.
He must have had that
and let the cord listen. They pay to roast, they can fucking roast away.
Maddie Matheson must have had that just like permanently copied and then just like pasting.
But why would he be
let me
sending
finish
it
and then
people?
Just pasting it into everyone's like reaction, just to like make people just like yo, Maddie, on the biggest food day of the year, Maddie said my plate looks fire.
Your place looks fire. He's telling everyone that they're in a perfect place, which honestly, your parents have, or wherever you happen to be.
This is not my beautiful home.
Surrounded by friends, surrounded by family, some combination of both. It is truly the perfect place. I'm trying to be fucking positive this holiday season and not be grinched up.
Did you participate in Blackout Wednesday? Because you went back to your hometown, right?
No. I did a Blackout Tuesday with Eddie the Animal was in town. Shout out Ed. So me, him, and Olive went out.
You were like, yo, come hang out with Ed. We're just going to have a few. And I'm like, you're going out with a guy nicknamed Eddie the Animal. I think it's going to get a little out of hand. And I got to finalize the pod for Blackout Wednesday, which got moved to Black Friday.
I did come home at 5 a.m. So technically I did participate. That's Wednesday. I wasn't blacked out. I was more locked in, we'll say, but yeah, I guess I did participate. He told me, I don't want to tell his whole story, but we were talking. He loves the show, and he loves
Shout out Ed.
I
wish I could have been there, but duty called.
Right. But we were talking about Britpop and Oasis with Olive, and he told me a really great Noel Gallagher story, and I don't want to.
Olive who?
Leatherwood.
From
Vogue.
Last name.
Yeah. And he told me there's 3 takeaways here. One is that Noel Gallagher won't do anyone else's drugs because his drugs are obviously better than anyone's, right? So there's no point in
sense,
if you're ever with Noel Gallagher, don't offer him drugs because he has
Right.
drugs on him and they're going to be better than anything you offer.
Yeah.
The second thing is, if you try to ask him a question, even in like polite conversation or in any type of journalistic setting, which Ed is by trade, he works for the Telegraph.
Yep.
His excuse to not answer any question is, I have 100 million quid in the bank, so you can go fuck yourself. I don't have to answer this question. Awesome, dude. Amazing. And then the third final anecdote, which was awesome, was that Ed, after being fucking dubbed with the bank kind of, canned response.
Should I start being like, yo, fuck you. I don't know how to answer. I got 5,000 quid in the bank, bro.
Yeah, I'm a cash money thousandaire. I don't have to answer these questions from peons.
Yo, how many zeros is that? Yeah, 3, bitch.
But Ed bounced back and was like, yo, one thing I do want to know is what was the best year for drugs?
In general.
And Noel goes, 96. Incredible, dude. Which is literally like
Is that when they? That's
Babe
what.
Ruth, like literally
Yeah.
like calling his own shot that 96.
No, he's probably sniffing up
96.
sniffing up particles from every year that's still in the sinus cavity and recognizing the 96 molecule and
Yeah,
giving him
100.
the
I
answer.
wonder what
there.
Oasis song we should use as the outro music now.
We'll see. We don't have to do Oasis as the outro.
Anyway, so that was my Blackout Tuesday, and then
How's your Blackout Thursday?
So before I went, any listeners of the show will know that I love my father. We have a great relationship, but he is a narc, and I'm a party animal, much like Ed. And the beef is always
Larry the Animal.
So, like every Thanksgiving, before I come home, I get my dad fires a warning shot across my bow,
Which,
like Napoleon.
when he does that just egg you on?
No,
to
no.
party even harder?
No.
If he didn't fire the warning shot, would you maybe consume 2 Larry's dozens of beers
All right,
instead of just maybe 1?
let me read the text.
Okay. Because I feel like it kind of like goads you a little bit, no?
No, not at all. If anything,
You're not listening to Papa, though.
I'm like, okay. I'm looking forward.
Larry, be wary.
I'm looking forward to spending time with you on Thanksgiving and watching the movie together. I put in a movie request for the fellas.
What movie?
The Thing.
Okay. How many times did you watch that last week?
I watched it twice in 3 weeks. It's that good. It's a perfect
fucking
movie.
stupid. Okay.
Okay. He says, I won't enjoy it if you get drunk though. ... Love dad. I said, understood. 3 salute emojis. He hit me back with a smiley face. Okay. So we're on the same page, and I dude, it's his home. I understand that he does not drink. So again, like perception being reality across the board, you can imagine when this man who doesn't drink sees me consuming beers at the clip that I typically consume beers, he's gonna have wild assumptions about what I have. I'm an alcoholic. I have no self-control. I'm a feral wild animal.
Yeah.
You know,
Little freak.
a little freak.
Weird little fucking freak.
So here's the thing. The way I went into it was like, okay, don't get drunk, but enjoy yourself, right? We could find a middle ground, a compromise, because he's not saying don't drink. He's saying don't get drunk. So my question for you and the audience at home is 11 Budweisers drunk?
Yes.
Because
When did he start, I guess?
we got there.
Like over how many hours were the 11 consumed?
Oh, I had 11 beers from, let's say, 2:30 to midnight.
You're a good time fella. And I think that whether you've had 11 or whether you've had 2, you like when you start sipping on fucking poison, it brings you to a place where people might be like, yo, this guy's like drunk.
Just
Where
even
it's
more
like
loud than
the
I normally
flailing,
am.
the conversation domination. We're ending that. The
Conversation domination. Yes.
The being the black hole of like not allowing anyone else to speak.
Black hole of culture.
Yeah, that starts black hole of sound. That starts 2 beers in and will continue until whatever you end up, 30, 35, whatever. So I could see how maybe, and especially as a guy that doesn't drink himself, speaking of your dad, like he might just not understand the intricacies of like, I know whether Larry's 2 in or 22 in. It's called the Larry shuffle. Like you're just fucking shuffling, bro. You're just shuffling.
So,
but I could see. Okay, but so I don't know how you're acting 11 in at home because that's a context I've never seen you in.
Jenna had my back. She thought I was fine. It's not like I was falling asleep during the movie, which I believe last year was the big beef, which is like, yo, I know you're hammered because like you're falling asleep and it's whatever, normal hour where you would be awake and locked in and watching a movie. This didn't happen this year. I thought I paced myself.
What time do you start?
That's what I said, 2:30.
What time do you end?
I said midnight.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know.
9.5 hours. That's a beer.
Nothing.
Little over beer over now.
Yeah.
Well, you drank it till midnight?
Bro, I could have fucking led a French battalion, dude.
Well, yeah. Well,
I was that sober. I was more sober than a French general.
Well, yeah, but the French fucking suck at that shit on scoreboard.
Well, okay, so what I've realized, and
do you think your dad's just gonna yell at you no matter what?
So that's where I'm kind of like, okay, let's say I had like 4 beers in what I consider is like a normal amount of time, but in his mind is a quick succession, or in his mind, 4 is already over some line of demarcation that he has set. His whole idea of meeting in the middle, I'm starting to think that like maybe this is a unstoppable force versus an immovable object, and like the compromise like is already like so far apart and never gonna happen. Where like I just need to go to his house and respect his rules, and maybe it's like, you know, a beer when I get there to decompress, a beer with the meal, and then just be a normal, upstanding son.
When was the last time you went to your parents' place and drank no beers?
Never.
1999?
And then, you know, and
when was the last time you went to your parents' place and drank 3 beers?
Never.
So it's always double digits?
No, it's not always double digits. I mean, listen, it's a spectrum. Like on one end you have a Larry's dozen, another end you have like 8. That's not.
All right.
The worst part was then my mom was like, "Is it my fault? I got the beers," and I'm like, "Oh no."
Does your mom buy? No. Who else is drinking the buds?
Nobody, dude. They're all for me.
So why doesn't your mom just like buy a 6er?
Well.
Do you hit your mom and you're like, hey, mom, like...
well, she always hits me. She goes, what kind of beers do you want? And I always just say Bud bottles, and she gets me 12. And now there'll be 13 for me the next time I go because I got 1 left. When we go out to dinner as like a family, like if I'm not at my parents' house and I'm not like just chilling, like if it's just a dinner, I'm not going crazy, even though like, you know, we've had our issues at dinners as well. But my thing is like, yo, and then my mom kind of defends me as well. She's like, they're not going anywhere. We're staying over. It's not like I'm trying to drive.
Well, you can't drive.
No, honestly, I might pilot better after 11 beers.
Locked in, baby.
Yeah. So anyway, I think just moving forward, I think I just need to be, I wouldn't say the bigger man at all. I just need to be a better son.
Yeah. Or, you know.
And I was not egging him on. I wasn't doing it for pod content, unlike the last time I told a similar version of this story.
Wait, so what did he say when you drank 11 beers?
He was pissed, dude.
What did he say?
And then he's like,
did he send a text the next day?
And then like, and maybe I was a little drunk because the whole issue last time was bro,
you didn't drink 11 beers and were sober.
I was pretty good, dude.
No. Yeah, but you weren't sober.
Yeah, it was not smart talking about the Middle East at like around 7 p.m.
Oh my God.
No, but what I was stupid of me was last time it was all like if all the bottles go in the same receptacle, they are easily counted by a narc detective whose only goal in life is to catch me in the act and prove a point. Not the only goal in life, the only goal in the moment, I should say. There's other goals that we have as
I saw you the next day when we potted on Black Friday.
It was fine.
No, you were hung. You were hurt. You were a little banged up. You're a little banged up.
Okay, I mean, I'm not fucking Superman over here, but what I did this year is I was like a weird little guy, I was depositing the bottles on all different fucking garbage cans.
Bro, that's a troubling sign.
Yeah, right. No, that's bad. I will admit. And
I'm not gonna bust out any big words, but like that's trying to throw the fucking narcs off your trail.
Yeah.
That's a little. Watch out for that one.
Yeah, dude. It's like, like in The Irishman, war. You go point A to point B, and you spear a little beer along the way.
I love how every pod you just reference whatever movies you watched in the last 3 days. But no, like
I do. No, so then everyone was
hiding
like,
the empties. Come on.
And then everyone was like, "That's dumb." Everyone knew that you were doing that. From my wife to my mom to my dad, everyone's like, "Yo, we know what you're
hiding the empties." That's a little.
Yeah.
I mean, bit of a.
Anyway, I'm an open book. I'm just getting it out there. It wasn't malicious. I thought I could make it work. That was my compromise of 11 beers was not sufficient. So moving forward, I think I'm just gonna again be as good of a son as I possibly can.
Okay,
2 beers.
So what are you gonna do for Christmas or Hanukkah?
Well, Christmas I'm gonna be in fucking Texas.
Okay.
I'm left to my own devices there. No one gives a fuck what I do.
New Year's? I guess you don't do New Year's with your parents. That's weird.
No, my parents go to Florida.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if we're going to be staying with them.
All right, well, anyway. Veterans Day, I guess, is the next, or President's Day is the next time you'll be with your parents, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, no, we have the unveiling for my grandmother who passed away a year ago.
Grandma Michael.
And yeah, no. She's going to turn 99. But she did not join us on Thanksgiving because she's in bad shape, dude. So watch what you say.
I just named her. I just said it.
No, this
her
is
name.
my mom's mom, Grandma Sylvia. She passed away like a year ago. So we're having the unveiling. And then my great aunt also passed away around the same time, unfortunately. So we're going to do the unveiling for both. I will not be drinking for the unveiling.
Famous last words.
No, seriously. That would be unprofessional.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Well, look, Thanksgiving, you only stayed over one night. But again, I think it's like when I look at people, whether they're in the city and they're not with family and they're doing Friendsgivings because they're going to like save up their family time for Christmas time, New Year's, whatever, or it's like they get to go home and spend like 3 or 4 days with their family, with friends. To me, it's a little jealousy, envious inducing. Whereas like as a city kid, again, it's just like, all right, I go have dinner with my parents. I bring leftovers on the L train. Like, I'm
Why not
done.
stay at their crib?
Why would I do that? Like,
That's not where you grew up, is it?
It is. It's a 20-minute train ride home. Like 20 minutes door to door.
Yeah, so why not stay over and like did you and your brother share a room?
Until I was like 12 or 13.
Why not just like stay over and like post up with the folks and just maybe do it a little different, do it a little differently?
No, thank you.
Okay. Speaking of Thanksgiving, no, thank you.
No, I'll be returning to my bed here.
To my apartment.
Also, my bedroom doesn't exist anymore. In my parents'
what did
place.
they turn it into?
My mom turned into like a little art studio for herself.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't even.
Shout out Mrs. Harris.
I would have to sleep on the couch, I guess.
Oh yeah, you don't want
or
to do that.
my brother's childhood room, which. Oh no, that's my dad's office now. Yeah, there's no fucking guest bedroom now.
Dude, they did it right, bro.
Yeah.
Once the nest is cleared out, it's
living.
time to fucking reno, dude.
They're living. But I did make sure, because friends were in town for the weekend, I was like, you know what? Let me try and like pack this out as like a big activity packed front to back weekend. And one of those things was hitting up a group chat we're on and being like, yo, who wants to see Napoleon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you took charge. And whenever Larry runs point, shit's gonna get fucked up.
Oh, come on, dude.
We ended up seeing Napoleon at the Alamo on a screen that was about as big as the TV.
For anyone who's been to the Alamo in Brooklyn, it was theater 2, which is...
Felt like Michael Scott watching his plasma TV standing up.
Wait, did you actually think that screen... I'm not saying that that's IMAX or anything like that.
That was an indie theater-ass screen. And for Napoleon, which is like... For Napoleon, which is like an epic fucking fail. You want it on like a big ass screen, or if it is going to be a small screen, like, you know, whatever. It was fine. It was fun.
Can I just say that when I was being a great fucking friend and running point and buying tickets for everyone agreed we were going to see it on a Sunday. The options for Sunday afternoon were 2 and 2:30. There's
also 11 a.m. the brunch hour.
Yeah, I felt that was a bit early for everyone. You know, I didn't know if someone was coming back from being out of town, that's someone being Gallagher, I guess, or even Brando, because he was like playing some show or something. But I guess everyone stayed in town, or if they were out of town like me, it was local. But our options were the 2:00 movie, which we saw, or 2:30, where I wanted to get. Okay, here's a question for you: if you are going to the movies with more than 3 people,
did I make it?
Yeah, you did. That was fucking Kobe, dude.
See.
Cash money. If you're going to the movie with more than 3 people, how like you want to sit all next to each other, right?
I think that the 2:00 screening was the only one with like central foursome,
which is why the 2:30, which had
because the theater was so fucking trash.
The 2:30 showing was open caption, which I love, dude. I would have loved to see that.
I don't want to see that. I'm down for that at home.
What's the difference between closed and open captioning?
Closed captioning is, I believe,
they do the sounds too,
hearing challenged, and so it is like, you know, tense music plays.
Right. I just want dialogue.
Right.
Anyway, that 2:30, I couldn't get even 4 seats because your one note was not the back row, please.
Well, I like sitting closer to the screen than the average moviegoer, I believe, because again, if I'm going for the theatrical experience, I want the screen to take up my entire peripheral.
I don't want to turn your head to see what happens at the Battle of Austerlitz.
No, because it's entirely here. It's fucking this 120 degrees.
I'd rather
is like where the screen is.
I'm the exact opposite. I'd rather. So if I told you back row or front row?
Oh, yeah,
huh? That's what I thought.
Back row.
That's what I thought.
No. But you're thinking in the extremes. If usually I like row, like where we were, I would have gone 1 row up.
Really?
3rd row.
In that theater, there's so much space between where we were. It's almost like it was a tiered thing because it is a small theater. Anyway, just real quick, I want to shout out Caleb, patron, member of the Thrill Gang. I had seen Saltburn the
customer.
Oh, yeah, and he was, well, we'll get to. I want to shout out this guy because talk about the movie fucking mindset, a man after my own heart, a best friend behind the paywall. We saw Saltburn at the same time on Saturday, and then on Sunday, when me and you are walking into Napoleon, he was leaving the previous showing, maybe that 11 a.m. showing, wearing the fucking overshirt. And I was like, damn, this guy did it right, dude. Back to back. Your flick of the year, Saltburn. You oversold it, by the way.
Sorry that I love.
Which I think Caleb.
Sorry
agreed.
that I love having a rollicking good time at the movies and not like I'm.
Though,
okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about
he
it.
did agree with you. He said, I was like, oh, how was Napoleon? He's like, mid.
Napoleon fucking sucked le dick.
Anyway.
It was le poupou, and I don't recommend seeing it if you don't want to waste 2.5.
Sucked le coq.
That's what I said. If you don't want to waste 2.5 hours of your time.
Dick.
Okay. I know that you loved it. Because it's fucking, you got swept up in the hype. It's fucking Ridley Scott. It's fucking Joaquin.
Sir Ridley Scott.
Sir Ridley Scott. It's fucking Joaquin Phoenix. It's fucking Vanessa Kirby. It's this whole epic tale.
Did you see the, why they call this guy Walking Penis? Did you see that meme?
No.
With Joaquin Phoenix's face?
You loved it.
Well,
you gave it 5.5 stars on Letterboxd.
No, I gave it 3.5.
I could see you drafting fucking quippy little quips the whole time on your phone as we're watching this bullshit for 2.5 hours.
Like Saltburn, I'm going to compare and contrast the movies.
To Saltburn?
Actually, yeah, because
why?
Well, I think they both have hilarious moments.
Okay.
That, like the whole theater, which is almost why you want to not watch this on your couch. Forget about the size of the screen. Because even Saltburn, like, with Saltburn, you don't need to see on a huge screen. You can watch it at home.
Correct.
But because of the crazy moments.
The theater experience of Saltburn was great, where it's like the collective groaning, the collective laughing, et cetera, et cetera.
Whether hilarious or shocking. And with Napoleon, those hilarious moments.
They weren't
great.
hilarious.
It's okay. I disagree. It was great to have a communal experience there.
With the other 6 people in the theater.
Both movies suffer from pacing considerably. Which is weird because now all I want is the 4-hour Ridley Scott director's
I thought
cut.
Napoleon, it
felt like 8 hours, but it's 2.5.
complete lack of momentum. It didn't help that
cuts.
sitting in the upright seats. I felt like I was just on a fucking.
You didn't
flight.
snooze once though. I'll give you credit.
I wish I had. I couldn't. I was trying. Trust me, I was trying. If there wasn't a woman sitting next to me, I would have like slumped over more. I was trying to sleep through it. There was a moment where I was like, it would be kind of funny if I got up and left right now because one, I wouldn't be mad at just not seeing the rest of this movie, and two, it would be mad funny to like the fellas if I just like got up and fucking bounced.
I mean, it would have been good content where it's like, yo, this man literally just left after an hour.
I've never walked out of a movie, but like
I refuse.
Well, yeah, because you respect the art form. I just thought this movie's divisive, right? People either fucking love it or they're like, this.
I thought it was good.
Sucked.
I didn't love it, to be clear.
The hilarious moments that you're talking about, they're okay. Joaquin Phoenix goes for it, but I think that it being a biopic and it being true somewhat to like actual historical events, I think is constraining in that you have to like. Everything has to be relatively accurate. Everything has to be kind of like it's already following this trajectory that is already set in place. And you don't have as much creative freedom as with like an original screenplay, original story. The hilarious moments, it was almost like the laughter in the theater made me realize that they weren't that funny.
Damn,
that makes
talk
sense.
about contrarian Jimmy on the fucking ones and twos.
I felt like people were trying to find the hilarity in like Joaquin Phoenix doing a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, it's not that good.
Okay.
It's not as funny as you think it is.
Did you think Vanessa Kirby was great? Because I thought she was amazing.
I thought she was good. I think that she's getting a crazy amount of love where I'm just like, all right.
Do you smell an Oscar nom?
For her?
Like a boy, like a homie at Def Jam who smells a Grammy?
Yo, I smell a smash.
I smell an Oscar. I thought, like Joaquin, this will go down as like a goofy, weird little guy performance. I don't think he's going to get any hardware. Maybe Golden Globes, which don't count. But I can see Kirby nabbing maybe the one Oscar nom. You know, I mean, maybe. I don't know. It did,
or like the costumes.
Costume. I honestly really, I thought it looked really good, and I really did appreciate it because Ridley Scott is a set piece master. Think about the opening of Gladiator, right, when they're fighting the Germanic hordes, dude.
Yes, the Huns.
How many? They basically took that, and he's obviously done this before, and you compared it to Game of Thrones, who's done this. You know,
no.
Okay,
I'll get into it.
I thought of Barry Lyndon, which obviously is a much better movie, but
with like the period piece-ness.
Yeah, no, and just like that kind of warfare, which is like pre-World War I, like very acoustic style warfare, where it's like you just like march and you fucking try to stab a guy before he fucking bayonets you.
Yo, imagine
or like you get one fucking pellet off.
Imagine you show up and they're like, you don't get a gun, you get a flag today.
Yeah,
like,
what the fuck? Or the drummer guy,
Yeah.
you just got a drum?
Yeah, bro. Yo,
you just got to make beats while people are getting fucking blown to pieces.
Yo, keep the rhythm. I thought the action was
those were epic battle scenes, and there's a ton of them.
What I heard was that there's like
there's
two parallels, right? There's him and the relationship with Josephine, which I think was
who cares?
That was the part that Ridley Scott was like, all right, he has such a grandiose, epic story in life, and this is the issue with Napoleon in general, is that no one can take like a 40-year military campaign and condense it down to, in this case, 2 hours and 38 minutes. It's impossible, right? And like,
hence the 4-hour cut that's going to drop on Apple TV.
You have to skip over a shitload of shit. Every other Napoleon movie like focuses on a different like relationship or like aspect of his life and career.
Yeah.
And so it's two parallels. It was him and Josephine, and then him, marching to just like his military campaigns.
Getting 500,000 of his own boys yopped in the process.
3 million.
Oh, that's what it was?
They did the math at the end.
I thought the math at the end. Oh, it was 3. Right.
Right before I ran out to piss.
When did 500,000 died just in invading Russia? I think
560,000.
Bro,
it started at 600,000. 40,000 came home.
Not a math guy, but the stats are not statting for Napoleon, bro.
I was excited for the action, and that's why I was like, I want to see this on a relatively big screen, like a 56-inch.
So it's my fault. Wait, who are you blaming, me or Ridley Scott?
Ridley Scott, because then cool. I thought that the action scenes were rote, repetitive. It was a lot of like just mass bodies and then people falling. What was great about Gladiator and Game of Thrones is that you have the one-on-one battle within the battle, right? You have like the gigantic set pieces, which by the way were mostly CGI.
In what?
The big like battle scenes.
Yeah,
so sorry to burst your bubble there.
No, I didn't think it was all like super practical effects. I mean, there's not 500,000 extras on screen.
But like Napoleon is just like there's no focus on a single like battle or whatever. Just like there wasn't, except for when they invaded the fort. It's just like I thought
Austerlitz was a big because that was the big win.
Infantry line up. Boom! And then you see a wave of people fall down.
One thing we can agree on is this is a great movie if you hate horses.
Yeah, and if you hate poor people,
you're never gonna watch it. You hate you. What was your Letterboxd review? You never use Letterboxd, but of course, to make a point, I believe. I mean, you could give your own star rating and review.
1.5 stars. My review is bad movie.
Yeah, I think that, and then in terms of Brando and Gallagher, who we saw with, I think they fell in between me and you. I thought they thought it was whatever, but definitely not bad, and they definitely didn't think it was good. Whereas I rate it as good. I would say it's as good as The Last Duel in terms of recent Ridley Scott fucking historical epics. Gladiator is better.
Yeah, absolutely. Gladiator was a video game where it's like the momentum was crazy. It was like every 10 minutes he levels up into like a new level until he faces Joaquin.
Gladiator is very campy. You agree, right?
In the acting and like line delivery.
And you don't think that the same thing is kind of happening in Napoleon, at least with Joaquin? Like the military coup when he's like running out of whatever fucking chateau, wherever the fuck they are. That was like legit physical goofy comedy. I loved it.
Look,
that is funny to me.
I think we watch movies in different ways.
Okay.
Right? Watching movies, as you said, is your hobby, is your passion. You love to just lay back.
Difference?
You love to lay back and just watch it, have it wash over you.
Oh yeah, right? I love a non-interactive hobby.
Yeah. It's
passive hobby.
It's passive. It's not active. You're not doing anything. The thing is happening. The thing is happening to you.
But I guess I am appreciating the glorious art of cinema.
But I think that you watch movies in the way that people who listen to audiobooks say that, oh yeah, I read that book. It's like, bitch, you listen to that.
Yeah, but
I think that you've been Letterboxd pilled.
One for one.
It's kind of like reverse engineering the Letterboxd review, where it's you're constantly coming up, formulating the quip to put out there, and like that's how you're like. That's the lens you're watching the movie with, and similar to a few weeks ago, I was like, "You're just talking about this one thing because you want to post that zoo board."
Oh, that
reverse
for sure.
Engineering the social media aspect of it.
I'm not going to deny that social media has fucked up my already fucked up brain for sure. Because like you're right, like when he was, I don't want to spoil it, but he makes the lamb chop joke. I'm like, oh, this is mad funny to me. Like that'll definitely be like the bar that I go with. But with that said, like. I was locked.
Are you like Matt Damon in the Leo in The Departed, like taking notes on your phone in your pocket?
No, Jenna was like weirdly like on her phone during Saltburn, and I was like, for such
a movie,
such an adamant rule follower. I don't know if it was a work thing, but I was like, what do you do? I'm like, you're embarrassing me.
Wait, like
you're embarrassing me at Alamo,
bro. Don't they take that shit seriously?
No, we were in the back row. She loves the back row, so there was no one really. And then we were with friends, so she was buttressed by friendly
back row
crowd.
Back row, you can be on your phone. That's the rule.
What else? Oh. So with that said, I thought Napoleon pacing was bad because of cutting down 4 hours to 2.5. It feels just like vignettes. There's not really that connected of a story besides like here's this guy's. I mean, I don't know how many years of his life were on screen. We saw probably
like 30.
30. Yeah. I was gonna say 30.
Started
35.
with the terrors.
Yeah.
Or the Robespierre rise, and then ended with Waterloo.
Yeah, I think the big takeaway from
his second exile,
right? Dying on St. Helena when he's writing his memoirs. Seeing Saltburn and Napoleon back to back, I'm just like, yo, my big takeaway is I'm hyped for Lil Weird Guy Winter.
Yeah.
That's what it's just like I see myself in some of these feral goblin ass protagonists, anti-heroes.
Well, I don't know why
whether it's Barry Kogan, excuse me, or
wait, I don't know how do you
Napoleon.
why do you see yourself as a weird little freak?
All right, to be
because you're a basic white normie. You post plate, bro. You post plate and drink too much at home. You're a white normie.
The rubric for being a weird little freak, first and foremost, is you have to be physically slight, right?
Yeah.
The internet thinks that you and I are like 5'6", so we already got that.
Where do you get that? TikTok comments?
No, I mean I just fucking read, dude. I read.
Oh, while you're watching movies. That's the other thing is that you're like, oh yeah, bro. You want to tell the audience how many movies you've seen this year? As of November 20th, a week ago.
Okay.
It was 276.
Yeah, right now we are at, drum roll please, 284. Now, I also think that number...
So you've watched 8 movies since this past Monday, and one of those days was Thanksgiving, and one of those days was a movie day.
And I think that number is low because I think if you rewatch the same movie within 12 months, Letterboxd doesn't count it. And I've probably only done that, let's say, maybe...
Wait, so what is it?
4 or 5 times. It's 284. And I want to say that number is probably close. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Let's just go with 284.
So there's been 331 days in the year so far, and I know I fucked up this math once before, but you have watched 1.1.
No, you fucked it up again. Wait, how many days in the year has been?
331.
Yeah, and I've watched. I can't watch more than one movie a day. I've watched less.
True.
You're supposed, bro? What did you get on your math SAT?
That was a long time ago.
All right,
you've watched 0.86 movies a day.
Thank you. I think that's pretty good. Well, my goal, and I'm not going to shy away, and we could get... Before I continue with the weird little guy rubric, let's talk about this for a second. My goal, by the way, was to try to do 365, and I do not think I'm going to get it. I
believe in you, bro. The thing is, again, it's like...
I watched some shows this year as well.
Back to like you watching...
And by the way, most of these are at home, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not that rich where I can go to the movies.
All right, let me speak. The way that you
day.
watch movies... being akin to how people reading books by listening to them as audiobooks. I see, like, if I'm on Instagram, every single photo on my feed, because we follow like roughly 99% of the same people.
Probably.
Every single photo on my feed, like by Sir Troy Link, comment, go, 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 comment, king, comment, heart.
Yeah, I'm
every
such a
single
fun guy.
photo. And I know, and it's like posted at a time, like 16 minutes ago. And if it's during the day, when we're not on a Zoom, I know that you're watching a movie.
We have 468 mutuals. That's got to be the record, but sure, for me and you, yeah.
So I know that you're just like scrolling on your phone, which is totally fine. That's how I watch movies, but I don't say that watching movies is my fucking hobby. It's my passion.
Can I defend myself?
Sure.
If it's like a midweek movie and
midday movie,
midweek, midday, a lot of mid, and Jenna is out of the house. I'm typically like snuggling with the dog, watching a movie. Maybe I'll take a cig break. So I'll pause the movie, have a little cig break, hit IG, see what's going down, see what kind of love I can show.
I know for a fucking fact you're scrolling while watching.
Maybe if it's a movie that I've seen before that I'm watching out of like some type of novelty reason.
I know for a fucking fact you're scrolling. You're not watching it like, oh, the cinematography. The fucking DP went crazy here, bro.
I will say, when you heard that number, you almost died because you were so flabbergasted.
When I heard that number, 1, I was a little upset. 2, I was a little proud. 3, more upset. I was like, yo, you need to do more work, bro. Like, I get it. The fucking bit is that I do everything. There's a lot of truth in that, but it's like, yo, there's some shit you can and should be doing.
Bro, and you know what? I have a bunch of tasks that I'm in the process of completing as we speak.
Yeah, tasks that
I meant more how you almost lit yourself on fire.
No. I was consumed not by fire, but with this thought. I was like 276 movies. I was like, yo, we need to get a fucking office. One, so that, yes, we can have a multi-camera setup. Two, so that we actually have a place of work where you can come in every day and not fucking watch movies from 9 to 5 if we're not, except for like the 40 minutes we're on a Zoom.
Can we get a TV in the office?
No. Maybe for sports games. But
for sports games?
Yeah.
Big jock over here.
And movies.
For sprots.
For sports. For the games of sports.
So anyway, you were so consumed by that knowledge.
I didn't know how to feel about it, to be honest, because I was like, you should be doing more work, but there's not that
forbidden
much
knowledge.
more work that you should take on because you just fuck it up. But so I was thinking about this, right? As I was thinking about this, I was cooking dinner. It was Monday night. And I found out about the 276 things. That's what movies this year so far, because you said it in the cord. You didn't even tell me that. I'm like half distracted. Oh, I'm making a cup of coffee. That's what it is. I'm making a mid-afternoon cup of coffee on a Tuesday because I had to wake myself up to keep doing the work. While you went out and socialized with Eddie the Animal, and I finished up the episode, not for Blake Abbey, who's coming up this week, by the way.
Blake Abbey, baby.
Blake Abbey. What
Star of Bling Empire, New York, and the newly minted editor-in-chief of
A Magazine curated by.
Yeah, big fashion and reality TV show Pod for All the Heads is going to be a banger.
A lot of high-low. It's a good one.
Oh, it really is super high and super... Well, I've never seen Bling Empire, New York. I
thought that I'd seen it. Not to be racist, but I actually got my Bling Empires mixed up. I couldn't tell them apart.
Shit,
I had watched Bling Empire LA, which was the OG for 2 seasons, I think. And then Bling Empire, I watched the first episode and got so... I was laughing at the cliffhanger at the end, which is like one of the main characters is too late for the Chanel show.
Oh my God.
And she's like bawling in her Sprinter and like
How dare she?
Upset with herself. And it turns out to be like a symptom of a greater malaise. And so it's not that like she's like, oh, I'm a fucking influencer and I missed a Chanel show.
You sound like Napoleon, a greater malaise.
Yes. And so you do empathize and sympathize with her. But after that, I was like, yo, fuck this shit. So I didn't even actually meet Blake on the TV show until I think he has a cameo in episode 1, but he becomes a more central figure like episodes 2 through 8. And I crushed it because I loved it. And Blake, I thought, was a great part of the show. Yeah. He was kind of like the not canary in the coal mine, but he was the one that's like, you have all these like, socialites and little princesses that are like, how do I like make an egg? And he's like, bitch, like you've never made a fucking egg before?
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
So he's like there to keep all the crazy rich Asians grounded.
Keep them honest. I mean, he does come through with like, advice, and he is like their homie, but he himself is going through his own ups and downs and travails, not to get all French again. But I thought he was a great part of the show. And it was weird. It was funny befriending him
via Brenda hashtag.
Yeah. And then, and like a friend now. And then watching him on reality TV where I'm just like, oh, normally watching someone on a reality TV show, I would hate them more, but actually find him more endearing. And like, I had to keep myself from texting him about it because obviously this happened to him like years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say like how you're exposed to someone because he's one of my favorite people to see out, and he goes to like every event, and we get into that. We get into, speaking of stats, how many events a guy of his caliber goes to a week, which is astounding. And to be clear, Blake is like fairly famous and even just much bigger on IG than you and I like combined. But it was funny because during Thanksgiving, I was my brother and his boyfriend were asking me about the show, and my brother is a pretty fucking locked in listener, and I know his boyfriend enjoys the show as well. And I mentioned that we had Blake coming on, and I thought I was gonna have to do this like explainer, and they're like, oh my God, from Bling Empire, New York. And like they were familiar with him from the reality show. I don't know if he was their favorite character from Bling Empire, New York. We'll leave it at that. But that was cool to be like, oh damn, like, and of course the gays know who Blake is.
Right.
But no, I think it's a super
the best subplot.
It's a super interesting podcast. I'm very excited for people to hear it.
The best subplot of Bling Empire New York, which I had to withhold myself from texting Blake, just like, OMG, I can't believe da-da-da, was there's a heterosexual couple where the dude is one of these like very talk about creepy little freaks, bro. Well, first of all, this guy's tall, so he's not a little freak.
Husband?
He's a big freak.
Is this the husband that you referenced, I think, on the show? Mm-hmm. Is it that guy? Is he a husband?
Well, there's two husbands that are like,
and they're white,
probably.
Right?
Well, one's Asian, one's white.
Right.
The white guy.
Which one are we talking about?
The white guy.
Okay, yeah.
Is a fucking freak, bro.
Yeah, I think that's what my brother and his boyfriend were saying is their favorite guy. Is this fucking freak, dude.
I mean, he's like 50 years old. He's coming through with fucking, like Kenzo hats and like Montclair vests and fucking, Fear of God sneakers and shit.
Did he cop the Asian wife as the ultimate accessory type guy?
So it seems like a beard situation where, like she's very successful. He's like, oh yeah, when I was like hanging out with Prince, and it's like, shut the fuck up. When I was
balling with Prince,
and he's like shooting Blake,
and
he's like, be angry, be sexy, and Blake's like, I'm just here to hang out. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, that's gross.
And then he like calls Blake a snowflake, and Blake's like, fuck you, old man.
Oh, like on some like woke shit.
No, it's like everyone's too woke these days. Oh, I called him a snowflake. So what? And Blake just goes, fuck you, old man.
So
he's awesome.
Shout out Blake. Okay, speaking of freaks, let me get back to the
segueing it back into little freaks.
Little weird guy rubric, right? So first you got to be physically slight. I said everyone already thinks we're short. I don't know about you. I have terrible posture, right? So I'm already kind of like hunched over, and
that's because your hobby is watching movies on the couch.
Well, I'm usually prone when that's happening.
But yeah, but you're on your phone, so that's how another tell that I know you're like propped up like this to be on your phone.
And then I'm also trying to lose weight at an alarming rate, so I'm trying to be like slight and like a weird little guy. Got a tiny head, so I feel like you and I are kind of. Would you say we're more on this a side of lil guy or big guy? We're a little,
I would say more lil, but okay. You got Barry Kogan. Right. You got real quick, Barry Kogan. You got Napoleon.
First of all, Barry Kogan 5'8" listed, so I know that motherfucker is 5'7".
Napoleon was 5'6", which was average height at the time, but the British propaganda depicted him as a short little freak, and they published his objectively freaky ass love letters to Josephine in the newspapers in their entirety. So he was a fucking freak. This man requested that she not wash le coochie for weeks at a time so that he could come back and it could be le stanky. Reference to the movie.
Okay, speaking of that, second box to check to be a weird little guy, horny.
Yep.
Come on, bro. We got horny Jimmy here. You already know.
Oh, wait, are you trying to figure out if we're freaky little guys?
Well, I'm getting through the rubric, right? And then also how it relates to us. And then I would say the third thing is you got to be obsessed, whether that's with the destiny of what you believe is your great nation and your legacy or Jacob Elordi, right? I think we're also obsessive about stuff.
Yeah.
Clothes, movies, tennis.
Kanye, for you. Who another fucking freaky little guy.
That Vulture song stinks, dude.
I actually haven't listened to it.
Really?
Other freaky little... I have no interest in Kanye anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Other freaky little guys.
Culture.
Jeremy Allen White.
Oh, right. Oh, so do you think this is a weird little freak year, or are we prepping for a little freak renaissance winter?
I think it's a freakaissance.
It's a good
episode title. Freakaissance maybe in general.
Okay.
So because as much as we are bigging up the freaky little guys, I think we are also loving big boys right now.
It is big boy. Whoa.
Jacob Elordi. I'm talking about.
I thought you meant big boy season.
I'm talking about big boys. Jacob Elordi. Austin Butler's a tall ass motherfucker. Yeah. Maybe just Elvis in general.
Anyone who's played Elvis is a big boy. Who's played Elvis.
I mean, whatever, just a Elordi.
Oh, also when Austin Butler has like this sweaty fucking fat prosthetics on, that's big boy in all ways, dude.
Fucking Josh Riddy, he's a tall motherfucker. He's having quite a year for himself. Giddy, sorry.
He's a big fucking freak. Yeah. Okay, so that was like that's what I consider a little freak. Okay, what are
your little freak tendencies then? If you think you're a little freak, what makes you a little fucking freak, Larry? Besides your weird pronunciation of casserole.
We have a mutual friend that you always, every time he comes, I would say he's more of an acquaintance, but you're always like, this guy like is a compulsive like beard picker.
Yeah.
Oof. I think that is a compulsion of mine, not to that level where like I hope that it's not the first thing that people say about me when my name comes up. I'm like also then, so I asked Jennifer, so I'm like, what are the weirdest things I do? Yeah. So she was like, ingrown hairs and tweezing, you're already fucking, she didn't say shitty beard, but I'm saying my shitty beard. Cute, like always like cutting my cuticles, like being like obsessive, even though I have terrible nails and a terrible beard, like over grooming them. That's fucking weird.
Yeah. I have a nail one real quick.
Okay,
go
sure.
Bar for bar. I have a nail one. And this is really gross. This is gross. From rock climbing, right? You wear like super small shoes.
Yeah.
Like
you bind your feet.
Like you go a full size down, or I mean, it's you buy your size, but they are like I'm a 9. My climbing shoes are a fucking 8. It really is like ballet foot binding, and they get stinky, they get sweaty, and like your toes get like compressed, and so it's disgusting.
I'm so excited, dude.
my freaky little thing is
One of many.
if this is my big toe, like picking under the corner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where there's a little like.
Oh yeah.
It's not mold, but it's like something. I don't know what it is. And just
do you have a like
and just smelling it.
Do you have like Frank Reynolds? Do you have a toe knife?
No.
Do you have like a special thing that you dig out your toes?
No, but I'll like cut. God, this is disgusting. I'll like cut my big toenail and then just like in a way where this is disgusting. Like I'll cut it not all the way so that I can then just like peel it off and then just like smell it before tossing it.
It's mad gratifying.
Or I'll just pick under it and like smell that before like washing my hands.
Very satisfying. Absolutely.
I think just like nooks of my body are
the nooks and crannies.
The nooks and crannies are my little freak symptoms. But yeah, what else? What about you?
Speaking of Frank Reynolds and him and Charlie doing night crawlers on the show, I love getting in bed and being a full on goblin, not like Napoleon fuck style, but like just like wrapping myself up like a fucking goblin in the sheets and just like I'm very already crazy with ADD and I have like I'm very a restless sleeper, but like it's gotten to the point now after so long being with Jenna where she was like, if it was up to me, we'd have 2 separate beds because you just fucking wrap yourself up in the sheets and become like a feral little beast once you get in the covers.
That's not that crazy. I mean, I think like making yourself into a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, but that's when you're alone, it's fine. But what if you just do that constantly all throughout the night?
Well, that's just you being selfish with the blanket.
Yeah, I guess
that's
you're
just
right.
being a blanket hog. The solution is the Scandinavian method, which is just getting 2 duvets, which honestly is the superior way of doing it.
That is smart. Okay, what's another one of you?
I realized this, and I know this about myself, and I realized this especially during the movie, and I was getting a little self-conscious in the fucking 6-hour slog fest that was Napoleon, is that I'm fidgety as fuck.
Yeah, same.
I'm like doing something, I'm moving, I'm like touching my face, I'm like adjusting shit. Like I cannot sit still for a prolonged period of time, even though I understand that it might be annoying to like my seatmates. And I'm trying, like I'm literally next to Gallagher and I'm like self-conscious that he's going to like think I'm being a weird little freak. That I'm just like constantly just like shifting, touching my face, like, you know, rubbing my fingers together, whatever. So that was a little freak tendency.
Oh, this is a freestyle one. But you've said this before. I'm a disgusting eater. So at the movies, but I eat fast. I eat like a fucking prisoner.
No, a prisoner that was newly freed.
Yeah. So eating, I'm very self-conscious of. What was another one on my list? Oh, kiss. I just love kissing my dog in the mouth. That's kind of white people shit.
Again, you're just a basic white bitch.
Yeah. And then what else is a little freak thing?
You drink like a little freak. Like I'm not saying the amount. I'm saying the method of drinking.
You mentioned the Larry Shuffle. If there's like the right mix and amount of substances, it's like I get drooly, I get spitty.
Oh, no.
I'm smoking darts, I'm shuffling, I'm making moves, I'm scurrying.
Yeah,
I'm scurrying like a little fucking goblin, dude.
I was gonna say like a little rat, but I didn't want to be anti-Semitic. No, what you do is the way you drink is you'll go, and again, I think it's just more like you being a black hole of consumption is whenever you're given a taste of wine in a glass, right? They give you a splash.
How? Okay, go on, sure.
You fucking shoot the whole thing back.
How often are you and I at wine tastings? I do
not
do
at wine
that,
tastings, like when
the swirl. When am I ever tasting wine with you to like be like, yes, the bottle?
You enough times where I've noticed that it's how you do it.
Yeah,
and also you go fully like.
Oh yeah,
you know people go with bags of chips. They'll go like to get the crumbs, to get the dust. You'll do that with a beer. You just be like.
Larry Uzi vertical, dude. Yeah, bro. Well, I mean, it's just the way you got to get every last drop. Dude.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
dude.
you don't.
Yes, you do.
Speaking of nooks and crannies, I've been kind of obsessed with the backs of my ears recently.
Well, with your fucking
I think
earring,
it started with the earring,
drama.
And then it's just like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because rubbing it makes it like flaky.
Okay,
and then they're just like more flake to pick off.
You get some. This boy needs some lotion, dude. That's pretty gross.
I'm lotioned up should I start lotioning the backs of my ears?
You might need to.
It doesn't. They don't smell. It's just like Also, just kind of feels.
It's the phantom earring back that you're like. Feels good. Yeah, it's the phantom limb that you're still searching for. It's your Josephine, dude.
No, it smells good.
What else? Yeah, I think
my last nook and cranny one. This is my last one. Is belly button lint.
Yeah, but you got to clean. You got to clean your belly button.
Big belly button lint picker. But there was a time where I was like
lint picker.
There's a time where I was like trying to get deep in there to like be like, there's got to be lint in there.
You use a Q-tip?
No, well, yeah, but that was like irritating. So I was just like kind of like fingering.
Was the first time you got in there? Was there like a lot of good stuff?
I was like trying to finger my hole. I was like, oh, 96.
96. That's the last time I cleaned this shit. I would say the conclusions are very clear. I think that this is a podcast.
Drop your little freak tendencies in the comments, by the way.
For sure. That's a good prompt. But I think this is a pod by little weird guys for little weird guys. And to be crystal fucking clear, if you ever see me in person and you want to fucking get the facts, ask to see my driver's license, 5'11". What's your driver's license say?
I don't know. I got to check.
But you're like 5'10", 5'10 and a half.
I think so. I always say 5'10".
Yeah. Which is like, you know, like we're doing like what sucks is that's the truth. And this is why I think people say we're short because like that's come up before.
Well, you're like, I'm not short, I'm 5'11". It's like, bro, this is you posting plate. This is you being, you know what? Your little freak tendency, you're a fucking glutton for punishment.
Oh, I am. Well, that was my whole thing. We were just talking after Napoleon, we went out and got beers, which I
had to drink 4 beers to make myself feel better after watching Napoleon.
So speaking of the pot calling the kettle black, you think I have a problem hiding my fucking empties? You needed to have 4 beers to get your mood back up?
I felt like I'd wasted my entire day. Also,
so a day's wasted if you don't have alcohol?
I never dropped the P word on you, all right? That's your pops. Drop the P word on you, baby. I just said
the P word?
Problem. I said it's a bit of a maybe a tendency you might want to watch out for.
It's a PP, a pre-problem, maybe?
Maybe it's a PP.
We're P-heating the problem?
Maybe it's a PP.
Yeah.
No, I was like, what a tremendous waste of 2.5 hours. Let me try and like get hangout time and condense it into hanging out for 2 hours with you guys and having 4 beers. And well, it was Saltburn rules. It was everyone gets around.
Yeah, that's which is a good rule for sure.
Yeah, but that's why you don't want to hang out with 11 dudes.
How often are you hanging out with 11 dudes?
Well, that's how you have 11 beers, bro, because it would be 11
I
rounds.
don't need anyone to have 11 beers. I think we've established that.
Speaking of, I don't know. No segue necessary. Wait. Yeah, so
hold on. I fucking did plate hate. You got to talk about your dumb shoes. But and by dumb shoes, I mean what everyone thought were your dumb shoes. But
so you got roasted in the Discord for I got roasted on the Discord. I mean, I don't know why we're talking about these. I'm just gonna wear them for buying these Studio Nicholson Napa calf leather loafers with the elastic heel in this fucking beautiful oxblood. I don't know if it's showing on video.
What were people saying about when you posted John? And were you posting for approval?
No, I was just posting because I was like, just like you, I'm back into shopping.
Yeah.
People were, I wasn't posting for approval. I was just like, yo, I'm excited for these. I'm excited to wear these. And
you were sharing your enthusiasm.
I haven't worn them yet because I'm waiting on some legal stuff to happen with the retailer that I bought them from. Maybe
my
getting
man
some
is suing Essence.
I'll
see you in court.
And these got destroyed. And I was like, you know what?
Essence, though. We love Essence on this show.
These are getting destroyed. Where people are like, yo, you bought the fucking Unk Hey dudes. And like, honestly,
yo, damn, the Mocto, they kind of got you, dude.
That was the one good joke. And I was like, you know what? Like, fine, come at me. I know that if Larry was wearing these, you fucking meat riders would be like, yo, Larry with the fucking come up with the cop of the year.
Can I defend your honor? We were both going to get these. I like these. These are great.
I bought these. You wanted Flow. The Flow wasn't available, and
we both tried to get Flow, and then you put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I was like, we didn't get the Flow, so I actually want these, so I'm going to buy these. And I got destroyed, and I was like, you know what? Like,
okay, dudes. Oh my god.
I know. If Larry's wearing these, you fucking white meat riders would be riding his white meat. You'd be riding his turkey breast, and I think that it was like, yo, first they came from a Camion's, and I said nothing. Then they came from my fisherman sandals, and still I was silent. Weird loafers. Like, you guys are still, I understand that people are still trying to like get into
figure out their Blackstock and Weber sizing,
solidify their loafer lineup.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you will be starting to get, just like denim, weird shoes in general, weird loafers are, a year from now, don't say I didn't fucking told you so.
All right, yo.
What I really want to talk about was when I almost killed myself because I was so distracted by the fact that you've watched 0.8 movies every day over the course of 2023. So I was making myself
things to say about these loafers and why they're good.
Okay, tell them.
Dainty footwear, gonna be huge. Bulbous, kind of square-toed mock toe, fucking gonna be huge. Crushable, elastic, easy-going, nary a sock in sight, even though we do like socks on this pod.
I will be wearing socks with these. What are you talking about?
Banger. This is the loafer of the future.
I don't know.
I'm with you, dude. And I can't believe that you had to fucking be the sacrificial lamb because it's the people don't have the vision, bro.
What do I always say, Larry?
You're never wrong. You're always early.
So you're welcome.
I agree.
Listen, the ones that stayed quiet and maybe we're just like taking notes. I see you. I respect you.
Okay,
I
so
like
you
that.
almost lit yourself on fire. Let's go.
almost lit myself on fire. I was so distracted. I was making myself a late afternoon cup of coffee to finish the pod with 2 weeks from now guests.
Post Blake.
While you went out and until 5 a.m.
Like I already also like previewed it on IG, so if you fucking are in the court, you know who it is.
It's Slackin'.
All time. All timer.
And I was wearing a shirt.
Mode.
I was wearing an overshirt because it's a little nippy. I can say that, you can't. And I fucking fire up the stovetop, and all of a sudden, I just see blue fire creeping up, not creeping, like racing up the shirt that I was wearing. And I'm not going to drop the brand's name because it's not their fault. It was a fuzzy cotton. It was an overshirt.
I think it's what you're talking about. Continue with the story.
It was an overshirt that I wasn't buttoned up. So it was like I was, leaning over the stove a little bit, but the fire raced up. I fucking screamed, oh shit, and beat my own titty and put it out in like 2 seconds. The weird thing is that it smelled great. I think burnt shirt might be like sent to the future.
Weird little freak.
Yo, I love weird smells.
You really do.
But I was a little freaked out. I was like, damn, could have been really bad. I do know of somebody, a friend of a friend, where she was wearing a really cheap like polyester sweater and was cooking in her home and turned her back to the stove and it lit on fire. And because it was on her back, she didn't realize until it was like too late and like got the sweater off, but was covered in like 3rd-degree burns and had to do like a serious recovery in the hospital, all from lighting herself on fire at the stove, which like, yeah, be careful.
When you relayed this story to me, I was like, oh shit, is the John ruined? And you were like, no, it's fine. So I'm almost surprised you're not shouting out the brand because it's almost like the John is fire retardant. It's not, obviously.
What'd you call me?
It's not, obviously, but I think it's almost like a selling point for this brand.
I don't know if they're going to sell it. It's just like, yo, don't be stupid and light yourself on fire.
My second point is that when I heard that, I wasn't surprised because just like last week when I talked about coming over here and how beautiful it fucking smelled, the aromas in here.
The chicken
smelled fucking delicious. And like I said, I always like to, give you your flowers when it comes to being nasty on the sticks. Before we have a guest and we're recording here in your crib, our office, a lot of times you are very polite and you'll light like an incense, whether like a stick or a cone, or you'll do Palo Santo, right? Mm-hmm. The way that so when I do that at home, I use a lighter, like and I'm not trying to say like that you're a fucking badass and I'm a pussy. I'm saying that's just a normal thing. What you do is you go fucking straight to the fucking burner, and I have watched you, at least in the past month, on 3 separate occasions, drop the fucking Palo Santo or the stick, and you just go to reach into it while the flame is still going. So one, you light your incense like your drunk stepmom lights her cig just straight up on the fucking burner, which is crazy. You just go right into the flame. It's almost makes you seem retarded.
One, I'm a Cancer. It's a fire sign. I think.
Every time I watch you do it, I'm like, what is that?
Well, okay. Also, from rock climbing, my hands are like Teflon, bro. Like,
bro, whenever you might need to see a doctor.
No. Whenever I'm like,
heat.
Whenever I'm cutting whenever I'm chopping, slicing, dicing, mincing, there are times where I've like hit my hand, which is like, oh fuck, and then it's fine, it's totally fine.
My man,
and it's not a dull knife. Trust me. I don't know. Also, it's like it's not in the fire, bro. It's just near the fire.
No, I have seen you fucking Shaka Khan that shit, dude. Through the fire, bro.
Damn. Through the fire.
Okay, I'll say this. My man's shirt, fire retardant. My man's brain, fire retarded. You got it. It's like a caveman, bro. I'm literally sitting there and I've watched you do it 3 times in the past month, and it's freaked me out every time.
Sorry to freak you out, bro.
I'm scared, bro. I'm scared for your health, your safety.
I'll get you 11 beers next time so you can settle down.
I'll be like, yo, my boy off the shit, dog.
Yeah, maybe I'll put that on. Okay, last segment.
There's more. We've been meandering like crazy today.
Last one is just Goots' most eligible bachelor list.
Oh my god, dude! Congratulations.
Thank you. Goots Guterman, everyone's favorite court guest, put me on. She asked me, she's like, "Hey, do you want to be my most eligible bachelor list?" And I was like, "Is that thirsty? Is that weird?" I was like, "You know what? Fuck it, just do it. Whatever. It doesn't."
Why would you? It's not like it's her list. Why would it be thirsty or weird?
I don't know. I was like, I didn't really understand what the fallout would be, what the comments would be. I mean,
fallout?
Not the fallout. Like, if it's
more just like my dick falling on my pants to get sucked because I'm an eligible bachelor.
Nice. Yeah, I was like, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Sure, Goots, do it. And the reaction was sorry to say, there really wasn't any reaction. Like Brandon Mahler,
shout
my
out
boy,
Brando.
was also on the list.
He said he just had weird little freaks following him.
Weird little freaks. I think that the majority of the list was weird little freaks because obviously
not the kind of freak you want, like guys. Dudes.
Well, the rest of
weird little guys.
The rest of the list of guys was like weird little freak guys because I was clicking around and like checking out who else was on here besides the people that I knew already. A lot of them, and you know what it made me realize is that it made me realize that my Instagram, like fucking whatever grid, is just like a narcissistic pile of trash.
Oh, it's like you're embarrassed.
It's a victim of like fit pick culture. Like, look at me, look at what I'm doing. No offense, no shots.
No,
but everybody else,
that's the job, bro.
I was the outlier on this list in that one, I had the most followers. Two,
Larry Brain.
most dudes were private or had 0 posts, or their posts were just like, it was how they see the world, not how they want the world to see them.
Interesting. That's a bar. Wait, would you ever make, we've talked about you really falling into close friends, which is great. Happy for you, even if I have nothing to hide. I'm an open book. Would you ever just make your shit private then? Like, why not just make your page private or start archiving? I think archiving is, speaking of pussy, that's pussy shit.
Yeah.
You could see it all going all the way back. I don't care.
I don't think I give a shit enough to be like, oh, let me make this drastic move, like going private or like removing all my posts or whatever. It's just like, all right, you could scroll back in my shit and it is like pre-Fitbit culture. We're just yo, here's a photo of my friend. Yeah. Yo, here's a photo of my grandmother. Like I never archived anything like that.
Has a woman ever been like, yo, your social media presence is cringe though? No. Right?
No, but it is like I don't know about you, but I'm an IG story guy now, both in terms of posting and viewing. 100%. I don't look at other people's grids except to see like, oh, Larry liked this, Larry liked this, Larry liked this. While watching a movie, I'm
such a good fucking guy.
So
dude.
I think getting put on this eligible bachelors list where, yes, I was on the older end of the spectrum, and I'm assuming because like obviously people's ages aren't listed there, except for like the guys that I knew. I was like, oh,
pronouns old AF.
Yeah, old head. The way that I'm like presenting myself to the world seems to be a little bit like outdated, a little no longer a la mode of like, again, like, yo, here's how the world should look at me versus, hey, here's my perspective on like the things that I see.
Yeah, my man, old and he needs some head.
So that was the only like big takeaway. And then, I was saying to Gooch, I was like, yo, thank you. Keep doing this. You should do bachelorettes.
Oh yeah.
And then host a mixer.
Ooh, smart idea.
And get that shit sponsored by a brand.
Link the freaks, the little weird guys with the freaks.
Little freak link up.
Come on, freaks, dude. Freaks in the sheets.
She should do little freak guys and bitches over 6 foot.
Oh,
link them.
That's a whole genre, dude. What's that fucking Lil Humpers?
What?
It's I think it's a Brazzers IP where it's all like the little guys with the we talked about it with the girls on porn, I thought. Anyway, Lil Humpers, check it out. One thing I will say is that's it feels like you might have been self-conscious about your age, which I know we very much are. We're not self-conscious about our height. Age, I feel like, is fair.
The only you said some shit about age, like you love fucking being like, yo, we're old, and then one other person,
we not?
And then one other person said something about age and was like, I don't give a shit, and then as far as I know, I think I'm the second oldest person on there, but it's also like, who cares? You care. I don't care.
No, but I guess age has been on my mind because the final thing that I'll say is
you're gonna die soon.
Hopefully not alone. Fingers crossed. We'll see how many beers I end up having. But I followed a cool kid on IG
because of who posted them.
And the kid hits me back.
Wait, how'd you find this cool kid?
And the kid hits me back, and he goes, "Yo, go! I've been watching you since 7th grade." And I was like, God fucking damn it.
That's awesome, bro. You shaped this kid's life.
But at the same time, it is awesome.
You shaped this kid's life, and that's why he's getting put on by Ian Connor.
See you guys next week. Bye.